I've just been for a walk with my daughter and I met a neighbour that I haven't come across before. She was very pleasant, very lovely. She was removing scaffolding planks from her garden, which is funny because I also have scaffolding planks in my garden. And she was telling me that the house was left in a state when she moved in 2 years ago and she's still removing junk from the garden. Very, very similar to my story and the amount of junk that was left here, both in the house and in the garden. So we had a little natter, and she has given me a very large planter that she was getting rid of, which actually for me is very, very handy because I am going to plant my Penelope Lively rose in it. My daughter keeps on picking all of the blooms off the head, so I just need it out of the way from her basically. And at the moment it's just sat in its own pot on the patio. So let me just show you what I've got. So this is the nice big pot. It is plastic, but it's fine. It's quite nice to look at, and it will eventually, once this shed has moved and this border is extended, it will sit in that border and it will eventually be hidden by other plants, but it's such a good size and that's what I like about it. And this is the rose that I'm going to put in there. As you can see, the blooms are not looking particularly healthy. And my daughter did in fact pull off the last batch of blooms that it had last month. So I think that's probably it for the blooms this year, but I'm going to get it into this pot today. Sitting pretty, but wilting. Hopefully I can move it soon when it cools down. I have just finished my cross stitch. So here it is. It's really, really cute. I am really pleased with it. And I really enjoyed doing this one as well. I think because quite a lot of it didn't have outlines, I really don't enjoy the outlining process of it. I just like doing the cross stitches. So the fact that it had nice big patches and that the hedgehogs haven't got any outlining on these parts, I loved that. Absolutely love that. I just need to get a frame now, and I think it's gonna go in my daughter's room if it's got space. If not, I might put it in the hallway. The hallway hasn't got anything on the walls yet, so it'd be nice to get some pieces in there. But ideally, it'll go in my daughter's bedroom because her bedroom's kind of forest animals. We've got hedgehogs on the walls and things like that. So, but there it is, finally finished. I've decided that the 30-day creative challenge that I added to my summer bucket list, I haven't even started, and summer is, there's still plenty of summer to go, but I need to get on with it. And I was thinking, what could I do? I was thinking painting, but with a toddler into her, it's going to be quite difficult. In a few years' time, she can do that with me, and we'll do 30 days of painting. It would be great. And then I decided that I want to start making my own knitting and crochet patterns for things that I'm making. And I want to start off with a really nice scarf. I donated most of my scarves last year because I had so many, and there were none that I liked wearing. So I want to make myself a really nice knitted scarf, or possibly crochet. But I don't know what or how I want it to look yet. So my 30-day challenge is going to be creating a stitch library. So each day I'm going to be learning a new stitch and creating a little sample with some notes and adding it into a sketchbook essentially of different things. So the last couple of days I have been doing a different stitch each day. It's also a good way of me using up yarn, because sometimes, like this one for example, I had a teeny tiny amount left that I couldn't really do a great deal with, so I'm using up remnants as well, which is really helpful. And then I can then have a little back catalogue of stitches that I can refer to whilst designing my own thing. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So for the next 26 days now, I'm going to be doing a stitch per day to create my little stitch library, and that'll be my 30-day creative challenge for the summer bucket list ticked off. I've just had a delivery of the second lot of plants from Hayloft, and of course again they've arrived on the hottest day of the week. It's currently 31 degrees out here. I'm stood in the shade at the moment, but I need to get these plants out because they're in plastic packs. I need to get them good water and then hide them in the shade, and then hopefully when it cools down a bit later this afternoon I can plant them in, give them good water, and I think it's meant to be slightly cooler over the next coming days. So another 30 plants to get in the ground quite quickly. I've moved all the plants that I wanted to put in the front garden
into the front and I've planted them. These ones I've put into pots, into these little, all these ones here, because I'm going to wait until I've moved the shed and then plant them in the new border. But until then I need to keep them alive in these pots for the moment.
Got some really nice weather today. It's sunny, but it's not scorchingly hot, and there is a slight breeze. So I'm going to take my daughter out for a nice little walk in the countryside, amongst some fields, and enjoy a slightly bit cooler, but still very sunny weather. A lady I work with has very kindly donated me a bag of material that she does not want, and I'm going to hopefully make some use of. So I'm just going to go through what I've got, because there's some really nice fabric in here, and I've got ideas coming out of my head now of what I could possibly use this fabric for. A lot of it will depend on size as well, so I do need to go through and measure things. But to start off with, we have this material. Now, this blue is very similar to the blue in my curtains downstairs in my living room, and it's got like the sandy brown colour as well, which is kind of similar to what's on the walls. And I've got a window seat which hasn't got a covered cushion yet, so I'm hoping, I need to iron this out and measure it, I'm hoping to have enough fabric to finally cover that seat cushion, which actually is my daughter's old cot mattress. So hopefully there'll be enough of this one. Then I have some nice floral material, which I think I might make some little outdoor seating cushions with. It's got little birds on it, little flowers, all lovely stuff. Next fabric is this kind of loop-in fabric. It's very pretty in different colours. It's like a purpley one, blue one, pink one. Now, my windows are very small and narrow in this house. If I show you this one, for example, it's not a big curtain. In fact, this is a singular side of a curtain. So I have one pair of curtains in the bedroom. Each side has a curtain. I will eventually split these and neaten it up so they're like a normal pair of curtains. But I'm thinking I may have enough fabric here to possibly make a nice pair of curtains to go in my office. The walls in there are a green colour. I think this could work, possibly. So again, just got to find out how much fabric is in it. And finally, my favourite fabric, which is an absolute gem of a find in this bag, which is this. And it has the cutest little monkeys and umbrellas on it. I just think it's really playful and really, really fun. So I'm going to hopefully make at least one cushion, maybe two cushions if there's enough of this to go in my daughter's bedroom, because I think she's going to really enjoy the monkeys. She has a book at the moment called Little Monkey, which she absolutely loves. We read it every night. And so I think in particular she will appreciate the monkey patterns. So plenty to keep me occupied. I just need to work out what project I want to start with, work out what I've got enough fabric for, and if I don't have enough fabric things, then I've got to change up what I might be doing. But that is the plan so far.